The Duchess and the Deserter. Chapter 8. The Truth Beneath the Ashes. You still haven't told her her father helped frame your brother. The words struck harder than thunder. Lady Seraphina froze inside the shadows of the ruined chapel. For a moment, she thought she had misunderstood. Thought exhaustion had twisted sound into cruelty. Outside, dawn had barely begun softening the sky. Mist clung to wet earth. Elias stood near the chapel steps, shoulders rigid. Thomas looked uneasy. Guilty. She deserves to know, Thomas said quietly. Elias' voice came sharp. I know. Then why wait? Silence. Heavy. Painfully heavy. Finally. Because, Elias said, quieter now, everything she's lost happened in a single night. His jaw tightened. And because if I tell her now. He stopped. Didn't finish. Thomas understood anyway. You think she'll hate you. Elias gave a humorless laugh. Wouldn't you? Seraphina stepped backward before either could hear her. Cold spread through her chest. Not sharp, not explosive. Worse. Slow. Numb. Her father. Again. Always another secret. Always another lie. The man who taught her duty, honor, family, had helped destroy someone else's. And Elias knew. Had stood beside her carrying the truth while she trusted him inch by inch. Something fractured quietly inside her. By sunrise, she had said nothing. Not when Thomas packed supplies. Not when Elias saddled horses. Not even when he handed her warm tea without a word. She took it silently, avoiding his eyes. He noticed immediately. Of course he noticed. You all right? He asked quietly. The question almost angered her. Such an ordinary question for an impossible morning. Yes. The lie sounded brittle. He studied her. Too observant. You're upset. You think. His expression shifted. Confusion first. Then concern. Seraphina. Don't. The word came sharper than intended. Thomas suddenly found the dirt fascinating. Smart man. Elias straightened slowly. Something guarded settling over him again. What happened? She laughed once. Soft. Disbelieving. You tell me. Silence. And then, understanding. Small at first, then devastating. His face changed. Quote. You heard us. Not a question. A fact. Her chest tightened painfully. You knew. Yes. You were never going to tell me. That isn't true. Then when? She snapped. After we saved your father. After I trusted you more. Frustration flickered through him. Because timing matters. Oh. Does it? Yes. The answer cracked louder than expected. Both of them stilled. Rainwater dripped from broken stone somewhere overhead. Elias exhaled slowly, running a hand through damp hair. You deserve truth, he said quietly. But not all at once. All at once, she repeated bitterly. My home burned down. My father may be a traitor. A war criminal wants to marry me. And apparently my family ruined yours. Her voice trembled despite herself. You don't get to decide how much truth I can survive. The words landed hard. Elias looked away first, guilt settling heavily across his face. You're right. Silence followed. Long, ugly, necessary. Thomas cleared his throat awkwardly. We should leave. Neither answered immediately. Seraphina climbed onto her horse first, pride holding her spine straighter than she felt. The ride toward Blackwood House passed mostly in silence. Fog stretched across narrow forest roads. Branches clawed overhead. Elias rode slightly ahead. Watchful. Always watchful. But quieter now. Careful around her. As though afraid proximity itself had become dangerous. By nightfall, Blackwood House emerged from darkness. Massive. Stone walls rising against cliffs. Lanterns burned. Along watchtowers. Armed guards moved across iron gates. Cold. Impenetrable. A prison disguised as nobility. Thomas pointed toward the eastern side. Servant tunnels, he whispered. Used during winter supply deliveries. Elias nodded once. We go through there. Seraphina stared at the estate. Somewhere inside. Her father. Answers. Maybe betrayal. Maybe grief. And Edwin. Waiting. As they crouched behind thick brush near the wall, Elias finally turned toward her. Firelight from distant lanterns caught sharp edges of exhaustion in his face. If something goes wrong, he said quietly, you leave. No, Serafina, no, her voice lowered, firm now. You don't get to decide for me. Something flickered briefly across his expression. Not irritation. Something warmer. Respect, perhaps. Then concern again. You could die. So could you. Silence. The kind that stretched too long. Dangerously long. Wind moved softly through trees. For one brief second, everything chaotic between them quieted. And she realized something terrifying. Despite lies. Despite anger. Despite every reason not to. The thought of something happening to him unsettled her far more than it should. Before she could speak, voices echoed nearby. Boots. Too close. A lantern beam swept across the ground. Thomas cursed under his breath. Elias grabbed Serafina's wrist and pulled her behind stone. Just as a familiar voice drifted through darkness. Smooth. Cold. Certain. Search carefully. Lord Edwin Blackwood stepped into lantern light. And beside him, bruised, restrained, but alive, stood Lord Ashbourne. Then Edwin said quietly, bring out the girl. I know she's here.